Hi, welcome to my channel. So today we will create a Google search clone with HTML, CSS and JS. And the whole project will look like this. So if you are new to this channel, please do like and subscribe. And it will motivate me to bring new content for you all. Also, I will put the source code link in the description. So let's get started. So I will put this image folder in a link in the description so you can download and start it with me. So now let's create the files. So first of all, let's create index.html file. Now create style.css, and in last create the file script.js. So now in here, in title, type here Google clone. And then link the web icon in here. So give the location of the image. Now change the type to PNG. So now link the style.css file. And now link the script.js file. So before that, let's give a comment here as script. So you can know where the script file is. Now let's link the script file. Alright, so here is the favy icon and the title. So now let's work on the navigation first. So first of all, let's assign a center tag. Then in between, let's assign a header element and then assign a UL element. After that, let's assign the list element, and then in between, let's assign a link element. So now in here, type user. Now assign a class link. Now let's add a button here with a class name sign dash button. Then give a type as button. Now in here, type sign in. So now after the end of this list tag, let's add another li tag. Now copy and paste this 2 times. So now in here, add a link element. So in href, type grid. So now in here, add a img tag. In source, give the location of the image. We will add here the menu image. And now assign a class grid. And here type menu. Also give a title Google Apps. Now again add a link element and type here images, and also type here images. And now in here give a link element and type here Gmail, and also in here type Gmail. Now let's add a comment navigation. Now copy this comment and paste it right here. After the closing tag of header, just replace the start to end. Alright, now navigation HTML markup is complete. So now let's style the navigation. So for that, first of all, let's select globally, keep margin 0 and box sizing border box. Alright, so the margin is gone now. So now let's add further styling. Let's select the header and give some space with the margin top with a value of 15 pixel. Then select the UL element and assign a list type none. Next, let's add overflow hidden. So now let's select the list items and give float to right. Alright, so now the navigation is positioned in right side. So now let's add more style to it. So let's select the link element and add a color 787878. Then assign display as block. Next, assign text align as center. Then give some space with padding top and bottom 10 pixel and also left and right as 10 pixel. Then add text decoration as none. Now let's increase the font size as 14 pixel. Alright, now let's give some hover effect to the link. So let's select it and give text decoration underline. Alright, so when we hover around the links, there will be underline effects. Now let's select the menu image. So select the class, grid, and assign the height as 23 pixel. Also assign a position to relative and then change the bottom to 4 pixel. Alright, so you see now the image is smaller, it's looking good. Now let's select the sign in button. So select it. First, let's change the background color to 4885 ED. Now change its font color to white, FFF. Then assign border as none. Also change the border radius to 3 pixel. Now let's give some space with padding. So top and bottom will be 7 pixel and left and right will be 10 pixel. Now change its position as relative. Also change the bottom to 7 pixel. Then change its font weight to bold. Alright, so the button is complete. Also navigation part is also complete. Next, let's create the main content. So first of all, let's give a comment as main content start. Also give as main content end. Now let's select the div element with a class logo. And now assign a img tag, then give a location of the image. And in alt, type a name Google. So now give a div with a class bar. Then assign a link. So now we need a search icon for that. So now let's search for font awesome icons. Select this. Now copy this link and paste it right here. Now inside here, insert a I tag with a class FAS FA search. And also give a class icon which we will use in CSS. So now let's run an input tag with a type text and then add a class search bar. Title also will be search. And value will be empty. Next, let's create the link element with an img tag. And in source, give the mic image. And in alt, give voice. And then add a title, search for Google. Now let's give a div with a class buttons. Now assign a button tag with a class button. Type also will be button. And in between, type Google search. Now copy this button tag and paste it one more time. Now just replace the Google search to I am feeling lucky. Okay, so we need to put all the main content in a center. So let's cut it from here and paste it right here. Alright, now main content markup is complete. So now let's style it. Alright, so let's select the class logo and change its space with margin top with a value 200 pixel. And also change the space in margin bottom with a value 20 pixel. Then select the class bar and give a space with margin 0 and auto. Next, change the width to 575 pixel. Then change its border radius to 60 pixel. Also give the border to 1 pixel solid and the color will be DC DC DC. Alright, now let's reduce the size of the mic image. So let's select it and change its height to 20 pixel. And also change its position to relative. Also the top will be 5 pixel and left will be 3 pixel. Okay, so nothing is changed here. Okay, let's see. So I think I forgot to add the class in HTML. So let's add the class in the mic image. Alright, so now let's select the search bar. So let's select the class and change its height to 45 pixel. Now let's change its border to none. Then change its width to 500 pixel. Also change its font size to 16 pixel. And then give outline as none. Alright, now let's give some hover effect to the search bar. So let's select it. Bar pseudo hover. Now assign a box shadow with 1 pixel, 1 pixel, 8 pixel, and 1 pixel. And change its color to DC, DC, DC. Next, select the class with pseudo focus within. We will use the same border shadow as hover. Also, the color will be the same as hover. And then change its outline to none. Okay, so hover is now complete. Okay, so there is some underline besides the search icon. So let's remove that. For that, come to HTML. And clear this link. So now the underline is gone. Now let's select the search icon. Select the class and change its position to relative. Also change its color to 787878. Now give border as none. Alright, so the search bar input is complete. Now let's style the button. So select it. So select the buttons class and give some space in margin top with a value 30 pixel. Now select the class button. First change its background color to F5, F5, F5. And then give border as none. And now change the font color to 707070. Also change its font size to 15 pixel. Then give some space with padding, top and bottom 10 pixel, left and right 20 pixel. Also give margin 5 pixel. Then change the border radius with the value 4 pixel. Then assign outline as none. Alright, now let's make the button hover. So for that, let's select the class with a sudo hover. So first of all, let's select the border as 1 pixel solid with a color 488 ED. Then change its padding to top and bottom 9 pixel and left and right as 19 pixel. Then assign a color 808080. Alright, so we need to change the color of the hover. So come to code and now in border change the color to C8C8C8. Alright, now let's select the pseudo focus. This will be the same as hover, but the color will be different in here. The border color will be 4885 ED. And also the padding will be same as hover. Alright, so now when we hover the color, it will be gray, but when we click it, the color will change to blue. So now buttons are complete. So the main content is also complete. Now let's work on footer. So come to code. So first of all, let's create a comment footer start and also give footer end. So now give a footer element. Then in between select the UL tag with the class footer left. And now we will create the list with link elements. Now copy this and paste it 3 times. Now type here about. Second will be advertising. Third one will be business. And the last one will be how search works. So after the end of the footer left UL tag, let's create another UL tag. And assign a class footer right. And select the list with the link element. And now copy this and paste it 2 times. So now type here privacy. Second one will be terms. And third one will be settings. Alright, so the footer HTML markup is complete. Now let's style it. So select the footer element and change its position to absolute. And then give left as 0. Then assign button as 0. So now let's create border with top 1 pixel solid with a color D1, D1, D1. And then change the text align as right. Now change its width to 100%. Also give a background color F5, F5, F5. Now let's give margin bottom 0 pixel. So now select the footer list element. Assign here display property as block. Then give some space with margin with a value 10 pixel. Alright, now let's select the footer left. So let's select it. And assign here float to left. Next select the class footer right. And assign here float right. And then give some space with margin right with a value 30 pixel. Alright, now let's style the footer link. So let's select it. And assign text decoration as none. Also change the color of the font to 787878. And then assign list style type to none. Also assign a font family sans serif. Then change its font size to 0.8 em. Okay, now let's make the link hover. So let's select it and change the text decoration to underline. As before we did for the navigation, same like that. Alright, so now the footer is complete. Okay, now one thing we need to do is to reduce the Google image size. So let's select it. And assign with it as 20%. Alright, now let's make the input working with JavaScript. So come to code. So assign here let query with document.querySelector method. Select the class search bar. This is the class for the input. Now let's assign a class for the search button in HTML. For that, come to HTML. And in here, give a class search, which we will use in JavaScript. So come to JavaScript and give let search equal to document.querySelector method and give the class search, which we just add in button. Now assign here search.onClick event, then give a function, and now assign let URL Okay, now let's select the URL from the actual Google search. So type here anything, and I'm going to type here font awesome and select up to this query. And now copy this and paste it right here. And now assign a plus sign with a query dot value. Now give window as object with the open method. So now in bracket give URL, and in here type self. So it is used for open page on same tab when we search for it. Alright, let's search something. Okay, so it's working. So let's try again. Okay, it's definitely working. Now let's make this responsive. So let's find some breakpoint. So we will work on this breakpoint first. So come to CSS. So first of all, let's give a comment here, responsive. So let's select the media query, and we will assign max with it as 770 pixel. So we'll just work on the footer. So select the footer left class and give float as left, and also change its font size to 12 pixel. Now let's work on footer right. So give float right and reduce the font size to 12 pixel. Alright, so this breakpoint is now complete. So let's find out another breakpoint. So now we will work on this. So assign here media query, and the max width will be 500 pixel. So first we will assign here search bar and reduce the height as 50 pixel. Also the width will be 200 pixel. And then select the class bar and reduce its width to 300 pixel. So now let's select the footer left class and assign here display as flex property. And in last, select the class footer right and change its display property to flex. Also give some space with margin right and assign a value 80 pixel. Alright, so the project is complete now and hope you like it. And if you do, please like the video and subscribe the channel. So see you next week. Until then, watch my previous videos or else thank you for watching.